When President Obama announced the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, commonly called DACA, hopes were high in the immigrant community that undocumented young people could find a path to stay in this country legally. Now, many of these are children of undocumented immigrants who then grew up here knowing no other place than this country. Yet as they enter adulthood, have had to live in the shadows, unable to get something as simple as a driver's license. And it is the struggles of these young people that convinced Akash Patel to start the nonprofit Aspiring Americans, in part to help his very own sister.
My family came to the United States in search of the American dream in 1993. I was born in London, but wasn't there long enough to get the cool accent or anything. So you're gonna have to bear with me and listen to this accent. After waiting for more than 20 years, 2 decades, my parents and I became citizens just last year. Thank you. Put another way, I was a year and a half old when I came to the country, but I didn't become a citizen until the age of 24. I graduated from the University of Oklahoma in 2014, and Francis Tuttle before that. I launched Aspiring Americans after I graduated in order to empower other immigrant youth to achieve the fullest education possible. That is the good news. The reason that I started Aspiring Americans, the reason that I plan to spend my life in the service of others, is because of what happened to my sister, Nisha. I had never been so thrilled to receive mail as I was on the day that our green cards arrived. Finally, after 16 years of waiting, during my senior year in high school, my family received the good news that I've been desperately waiting for. We weren't illegal anymore. We didn't have to live in fear or worry about cops pulling us over, asking for our papers. I could realistically plan for college and get a driver's license. I carefully reviewed all of this paperwork to make sure that it was there, that everything was real, that I had finally made it. I counted 3 green cards, 1 for me and 1 for each of my parents. But where was my sister's? When we arrived with visitor visas in 1993, we knew we should immediately apply for our green cards. What we didn't know was how backlogged and broken the immigration system would be. Our original visas expired while waiting for our green cards because of these delays. As a result, we were classified as unauthorized or undocumented immigrants until we were allowed to adjust our status many, many years later. Moreover, people who apply for the green cards but turn 21 in the interim are kicked off the application. It's a rule called aging out. We discovered this through the absence of my sister's green card the day ours arrived. She was 23. Nisha aged out. But Nisha never complained. After graduating from OU with a bachelor's in microbiology, she was told that she couldn't move on to grad school, accept any job offers, or complete any internships because she had been denied her green card. With this valuable degree in microbiology, she had nothing else left to do. So she decided to take her skills and passion and volunteer 40+ hours a week at OU's research campus. This went on for week after week, month after month, giving the best of herself to the study of health and disease without any promise of reward or relief. But then everything changed when President Obama announced his Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program in 2012. That allowed Nisha to enroll in the PhD program for microbiology at OU. DACA, this federal program, allows people like my sister Nisha to get a driver's license, a work permit, a social security number, and permission to attend grad school while they try to sort out their immigration status legally. And this is such a critical benefit, DACA, while we wait for Congress to painstakingly negotiate immigration reform. The least we can do is empower dedicated students to succeed and contribute to our economy and society. Indeed, the very first thing my sister did after receiving DACA was discover a new species of bacteria that exists in the human stomach. She published it. She has since received awards for her work and presented at international conferences. Just this year, she presented her research at Boston and Nashville. It is now set to go to India to learn new laboratory and research techniques so we can strengthen our knowledge of health and disease here at home. And I can't even imagine how many other Nishas are out there. It has taken my whole life up to this point to realize the American dream. And now that I'm here, now that I've reached the mountaintop, I know it is my responsibility to help all the other niches climb this peak. And that's what Aspiring Americans has been about. Helping Oklahoma's most vulnerable students, but who are also the most dedicated. Regardless of your skin color, economic class, or immigration status, Oklahoma's educators, communities, and most importantly, legislature must continue to empower all students to succeed, especially those who are most vulnerable, but who are equally passionate and able. We must be committed and benevolent giants so that everyone is able to envision and secure the future they deserve. By so doing, we will have the privilege of seeing what all of the niches of the world will accomplish.
And we're happy to tell you, not only has Akash graduated from the University of Oklahoma and started his own nonprofit to help other immigrants, this fall he enrolled in Michigan Law School. And as for immigration law, well, because President Obama authorized the DACA program through an executive action, the future of recipients still remains uncertain, subject to the outcome of the next presidential election and the next Congress.